Day 816, being Christopher Cruz, getting ready to go to sleep. Whew. Today was a doozy. I cooked a lot. I cooked 5 different things today. I did shakshuka in this morning, or no, 6 different things. Made shakshuka and feta toast this morning for our breakfast. And then for dinner, I had farro vegetable soup, baked feta, Israeli tomato cucumber salad, sauteed lime cabbage, and Mediterranean potatoes. And it was all delicious. It was so good. While I was cooking, my mom and I just lost our tempers with each other. And it was bad. Like, I walked outside and I was just like so furious. I had to walk up and down the block a few times. I was just so angry. And then I went and sat in my car. And, you know, it's easy to point the finger at her, but I started looking at myself, and it's like, okay, what did I do? And really started looking at myself, and then realized I have so much anger inside built up towards her. And I didn't even know it was towards her. First, I was just like, I just have all this anger, and I'm like, God, where's this anger coming from? And I'm just like in the car, like talking to God and praying, because I can feel this anger and this short temper. And I'm just like, I don't even know where this anger comes from. And I'm sitting in my car, and then I look over and my room light comes on, and my mom walks in here to pray, because I told her whenever she needs to pray, she can come in here and pray in my room. And so I see her come in here and start praying, and I'm praying in the car, and we're both, praying at the same time. And God shows me, I put my hand on my heart, and I was like, God, you promised me you were going to heal my heart. Like, it does not feel like my heart is being healed. And God said to me, I am healing your heart. This is the healing. And I was like, what? And so I just was like, God, like, what is this anger? I hate this anger inside. Like, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to be this. Like, where does this anger come from? And then he showed me. It's my childhood and all the suppressed anger that I have towards my mom for things that have happened. And there are specific events I remember that are just so vivid that there's so much anger tied to them. And I never thought I had anger towards her. Like, I didn't realize I was so angry about those things. And God revealed it to me. And I'm just like crying and crying and crying. You know, I can just feel all this anger. And then God gives me this kind of thing where it's like, you need to ask her to come out here and sit in the car with you and talk to you. I was like, heck no. Nope, not going to do that. And then I'm like, nope, not going to happen. And then all of a sudden, I look over, and she walked outside, and she's looking for me. And I'm sitting right there in my car. My car's parked right in the front. And it was like, okay, ask her to come sit in the car. But I was still like, no. And then she walked up to the car. And I was like, all right, God dang. Like, okay, I get it. And I opened the door. And she just started apologizing and crying. And I'm crying. And I'm like, come sit down. And we started talking. And what's so crazy is she said, I was praying. And I was asking God to remove this anger. Where does this anger come from? And for her, it's her anger that she has towards her mom from her childhood. And I was just like, what in the world? Like, we're both struggling with the same thing. Like, I'm angry at my mom for my childhood and things I haven't been able to express and say. And my mom is angry at her mom for her childhood and the things that she hasn't been able to express and say. And I was like, oh my God, we're in the same exact situation. The difference is her mom, which is my grandma, is not alive anymore. So my mom can't, have a in-person conversation with her. But my mom is alive, and she's sitting in the car with me. And we're talking, my mom's explaining, like, she's apologizing for, you know, the kind of mom she was. And the thing is, she was an incredible mom, but when alcohol got involved, it was just a different story. And she's just saying all these things, and she's so heartbroken. And she admits things to me that, that she was aware of that I didn't even know she was aware of. And she just starts crying, and I can feel her pain. And I just tell her one story, of what happened when I was a kid because of the drinking and stuff. And she just like reaches over and starts hugging me, and she's like weeping. And I'm like, wow, this really hurts her. My whole life, I thought she didn't even care. I thought it didn't matter to her. She just didn't know it. And I've never been able to express it to her because she's never been open to hearing it. And she's weeping, and I'm just like, wow, she really does care. And, I felt bad. My grandma was a different person with my mom than she was with me. I think she was a much better mom or parent to me when they took custody of me, because she was older. She was more safe and secure, financially, in their lifestyle, everything. And it was much different when she was raising my mom. And so I could just see how hurt my mom was by the way my grandma raised her. And I just have so much compassion for my mom. It's like, wow, that explains so much. But the crazy thing is, my mom, her mom wasn't really there for her very much. But my mom has been incredible for most of my life. It's just things have gotten in the way, with alcohol and stuff like that. And so we just have this amazing conversation, and I'm just like, this is crazy that God's showing up. And she's like, honestly, I wasn't a believer until this. She's like, I see your life, and I watch your videos, these videos. And she's like, there's these miracles happening. And she's like, it was funny. She was like, no, he's got to just be acting. He's just making this up. But then the miracles happen, so you can't make it up. And she didn't believe. And then she started praying, and God is answering her prayers. And God told her while she was praying, like, you can't be the mother that your son needs until you heal from the anger you have towards your own mom. And I was like, wow, because she's still a hurt little girl. She's not a mom. And she's like, I believe in God. Like, I'm a believer. He's answering my prayers. And I'm just like, wow. So there's so much anger, so much just, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I don't have any more patience. I'm exhausted from that to just God just blowing both of our minds. And God showed me, like, when you are able to express the things that you've held inside for 30 years to your mom without her getting angry or upset or explaining things or coming up with reasons or justifications or excuses or getting angry, like, if you can just express these things to her, those core things that are etched into your memory, express them to her, that will take the daggers out of your heart. And she needs to do the same thing for her mom. Even though her mom's not alive, she still needs to express it out loud. And so we're going to do that. And yeah, it was just so incredibly emotional, so powerful. And it just blows my mind how her and I were both praying, right next to each other. She's inside of my room. I'm right outside my window in my car, and I could see into the room. But the blinds are closed, but I saw the lights were on. And we're both praying for the same thing, and God gives us both the same answer at the same time. Like, that's just crazy. And then God's like, my mom called, and I didn't answer, but I knew I should have answered and asked her to come sit in the car. Like, God was really making that clear, and I didn't. And then she walked out, and she was standing there in the yard, like, looking out into the street, and I didn't do anything. And then she walked over to the car, and I opened the door. And it was just like, wow, all right. Thank you, God. So it was just mind-blowing. exhausting, but such a huge breakthrough. Like, God is seriously going to heal my relationship with my mom and heal her relationship with her mom and remove all this anger that we have in our hearts so we can shine our lights and love in this world. And God is not a God who lies. And he said to me, Chris, I'm going to heal your heart, when I hugged her the moment she got here. And that's happening. And I can't even imagine what that would look like. And my weight is a huge part of that. A huge part of that. So, yeah, I'm just very excited and inspired, and this journey is exhausting. Like, God is going to town on us. He is not messing around. He's bringing up some heavy stuff, but it's heavy stuff that we've been carrying around for a long time. So, yeah, it's just, again, God took a curse and turned it into a massive blessing. Or what looked like a curse. It was a blessing the whole time. So we came back inside and I heated up all the food again. Then we sat down and had dinner. And, you know, when it comes to eating all that stuff, you know, it was again really good, and also just really unsatisfying. Just really like meh. And while I was cooking, my dad opened a bag of Ruffles, and I wanted to try them to see, like, okay, well, what do bad things taste like? Because I had a little kid-sized hot chocolate, and it was like, meh. But chips are like that's my weakness right there. And so I thought, oh, if I have chips, that'll be wow, it's delicious. And I had 2 Ruffles, and I was just like, didn't even have any more, which is crazy. And then my dad had some ice cream, and I had a spoon of it, and I didn't even finish the bite that I had on the spoon. I tried it, and it was just so thick and sweet, and just like, it was way too much. And I put the rest in the sink of my bite. Didn't even finish my bite. So, yeah, I don't know what's happened in 7 days, but it's like food is losing its luster. Like, it's just not doing it for me, which is crazy, because food has always done it for me. And now food is not doing it for me. And the same thing with social media. Like, I get on Facebook or Instagram and I just immediately jump off because I don't even want to see anyone's story. Like, I'm just so not interested. It's just like, it's not doing it for me. Which is just, like, I don't know what God's up to, but I know it's brilliant. I know it's amazing, because the things that did it for me, he's just making them lose their luster. Which is just, wow. So I'm back on my fast tomorrow. I did 5 days, I think. Or no, 6 days. I don't know, 5 days, 6 days of just water. And then today was the day of food. I ate extremely healthy, minus the tiny little kids hot chocolate from Starbucks, the half a bite of ice cream, and the 2 Ruffles. Other than that, it was all incredibly healthy, which is awesome. I'm very proud of that, because there's a lot of bad food in this house right now, and I could eat all of it if I wanted to. And there's part of me that did, and I was still like, no. But I'm so glad I ate, because over the last 6 days, I've just been my mind has been putting food on a pedestal. Like, it is the best thing in the world, and really building it up. And now that I've had it, it's just like, it's not even close to what my mind created it to be, which is extremely helpful moving forward for the next 35 days of fasting. So, yeah. But crazy day, intense day. God is working aggressively. God is working powerfully. Oof, it's not the most fun thing, but like it's really hard and it's not very fun, but it's miraculous. It's inspiring and gives you so much hope and faith. Like, man, God is so real, and he's actually there with us, and he's answering our prayers, and he's communicating with us, and he's guiding us. And it's just like, man, it's so exciting. It's hard, but it's exciting. So who knows what he's got in store for tomorrow. I just need to get some rest.